You know that feeling when you're in an elevator or a line at the store and the silence is just so awkward? Yeah, we've all been there. Well, today we're going to break down the simple but honestly super powerful skill that's designed to fix that exact problem: the art of small talk. So, what's our game plan? First, we'll get clear on what small talk even is. Then, we'll dig into why it's actually a big deal in a lot of cultures. After that, we're getting practical with the do's and the don'ts of conversation. And to finish up, we'll talk about how you can actually put this stuff into practice. All right, first things first. What in the world are we even talking about when we say small talk? Let's pull back the curtain on this super common and sometimes kind of stressful social custom. I think we can all give a big yes to this one, right? That moment where you're just standing there next to somebody and you feel like you should say something, but what? Well, that exact feeling is what small talk was invented to fix. At its heart, small talk is really just a simple social tool. You can think of it like a conversational handshake. It's light, it's casual, and its whole job is to make things feel polite and comfortable. It's what helps us just acknowledge each other and share a quick, friendly moment without any big pressure. And you will find this happening pretty much everywhere in many English-speaking countries. You know, waiting for the bus, looking around at a shop, over by the coffee machine at work, or, yeah, during that short ride in an elevator. These are all classic hotspots for a little bit of casual chat. Okay, so we know what it is and where it happens, but why? Why does it even matter? What's the real cultural reason behind all this light chit-chat? And this really gets to the core of it. Look, in some cultures, silence between strangers is totally fine, completely normal. But in a lot of English-speaking ones, it can sometimes feel a little cold or unfriendly. So small talk is the tool people use to fill that quiet space and just signal, hey, I'm open and approachable. Now, this is a really crucial point. Just because someone makes small talk with you does not mean they want to be your new best friend. It's way more of a social courtesy, you know? It's just a way of being polite. It's a habit, not some deep long-term commitment. All right, let's get to the good stuff, the practical part. If you want to get better at this, what should you actually do? Here's your little toolkit for making these moments go smoothly. First up, you've got to know your topics. Think of things like the weather, food, travel plans, or maybe sports. These are your universal green light topics. On the flip side are the topics to avoid, the red light zone. We're talking anything too personal or controversial. Asking about someone's salary, their age, politics, religion, that's a big no-go with strangers. And here are the key actions to keep in mind. You know, a simple smile and a little eye contact, it goes a really long way. Try to ask easy follow-up questions. It shows you're actually listening. Stick to those safe, neutral topics we just talked about, and most important of all, just keep the whole vibe light and positive. Of course, knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to do. So let's look at some of the common mistakes that can make a conversation just grind to a halt. Okay, these are the conversation killers. Don't ask super personal questions. It just makes people uncomfortable. Don't just complain or talk about problems. That's a real downer. Don't just stay silent because it looks like you're not interested. And the big one, don't give those super short one-word answers. It just shuts the conversation down right away. And here is a perfect example of what I mean. If someone asks, "Have you been here before?" and you just say, "No," well, that's the end of that. But if you add just a little more, "No, I haven't been here before. It's my first time," you've just opened a door. You've given the other person something to work with. You've kept the ball in the air. Okay, so we've covered the what, the why, and the how. But what does this all really mean for you? Let's bring it all together and see how getting a handle on this simple skill can seriously boost your social confidence. When it comes down to it, here's the real takeaway. Small talk isn't some big scary test. It's just a simple, low-pressure skill. And once you kind of know the rules of the game, you can walk into pretty much any everyday situation feeling way more relaxed and confident. It's all about making your day a little more connected and a whole lot less awkward. And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. Culture is a huge part of all this. So take a second and think. In your country, do people use small talk the same way, or are the rules totally different? It's a pretty interesting thing to consider.